Welcome back, eSIM Studios. Apologize, allergies are really acting up today, but big news in the Pixel world. So the Pixel 9a is now available to purchase. The Pixel April updates are now available to download, and we do now know that the Pixel 10 Pro Fold will be considerably cheaper than last year's Pixel 9 Pro Fold. So not much of a change, not much. It's basically a carryover. The Pixel 10 Pro Fold gonna look the same, gonna have the same gens. Basically, the only thing different, gonna have a newer, updated CPU, and it will have newer cameras, even though they share the same cameras from the recently released Pixel 9a. Yes, you heard me correct. They will share these same cameras. The Pixel 10 Pro Fold, the most expensive Pixel, will share the same cameras as the cheapest Pixel. Doesn't make sense to me, but I don't make the phones. So we got news today that the upcoming Pixel 10 Pro Fold will cost right around $1,500, in between that $1,500 and $1,600 range. So how does that make you feel? I was tempted to get the previous Pixel 9 Pro Fold, although that $2,000 price tag, that was basically the differentiator in me getting it and not getting it. And as I think a lot of people were. Now that we know it's going to be considerably cheaper, are you going to get it? Right? Because it does have a slight downgraded camera sensor, although don't get me wrong, it's going to take phenomenal pictures. Uh, Having that Pixel name, carrying that Pixel branding, it's going to take good pictures, just not as good as the Pixel 10 Pro or Pixel 10 Pro XL. I'm going to be getting the Pro XL, but it could be enticing, right? So it will have the new upgraded Tensor G5 CPU in the Pixel 10 Pro Fold. Um, the cameras make me a little wary, but I think that's why Google chose to drop the price, because they're not coming with any new hardware, basically, minus, something here or there. But if you held a Pixel 10 Pro Fold up to a Pixel 9 Pro Fold, you're not going to notice anything different. In fact, you may struggle, even me, who knows pixels inside and out like the back of my hand, even I would probably struggle. Look, I'm sure there might be one differentiating quality or feature in regards to the difference between those two foldables, but I've done my homework. I've tried to see what I can find, and I think they're going to be identical devices. Now, you're not going to be able to tell the CPU because it's inside the device. And the camera setup on the back of the Pixel 10 Pro Fold is going to look exactly the same as the 9 Pro Fold. Now, the sensors will be different inside that camera housing, but I'm probably not going to be able to tell the difference. Um, does that does that entice you to get the phone? And again, it takes me back. I think that's why they dropped the price on it, because it's going to be really hard to try and sell basically the same phone um, for the same price, right? So I think that's why they absolutely had to drop the price. And we got word of this about a month ago. We were going to drop the price. I had no idea it was going to be by this much. I thought Google was going to drop the price from 2 grand down to like 1800 or 1899, right? Maybe, or 1849, right? Basically from 2000 down to 1850 or 1900. I didn't think it was going to be, 1500 or 1600. That's basically $100 or $200 more than an upgraded storage model of the Pixel 10 Pro XL, right? So that kind of gets people thinking, damn, well, I was going to buy a Pixel 10 Pro XL. All I got to do is spend 100, 200 more bucks and I can get the foldable. So very clever. I like how they're maneuvering this. It's like you take 2 steps forward, you take 1 step forward, 2 steps back, right? I mean, look, it's not going to be a bad device. I'll just put it that way. It's not going to be a bad device. It will be a good device. It will take good photos. But as good as the Pro XL, I doubt it, right? Now, we do know the Pixel 9a is available in stores. You can go out and get one right now. Some at Best Buy. And if you are a Verizon customer, they do sell them in Verizon stores, although I've been trying to stay away from carrier phones. But you can get a Pixel 9a right now if you want to go grab one. And the April updates are out for Pixel. So if you have a Pixel and you're running on stable software, meaning you're not on the beta program, check your Pixel. You will have an update available. If not right now, should be soon, right? They kind of do it in staged rollouts, but you should have an update notice here in the next 24 to 48 hours. If you're on the beta program, Google typically pushes the beta program monthly update a week after the stable build comes out. So I'll be checking mine. I'm on the beta program. I'll be checking mine next week. But updates are out at the moment. And I want to know, is dropping the price that much a significant amount on there for next foldable? Could that be your next foldable? Would like to know what everybody thinks. I would like to get everybody's input. Again, apologize for the allergies. Make this video kind of short. Kind of struggling here to breathe, but I'll get out of here. But I did want to mention that and put that little tidbit out there. And comment in the video. Let me know, are you enticed to buy a Pixel 10 Pro Fold at $1,500? See, if you do it on a monthly, um, uh, if you finance it right, because they'll sell them at the carriers, it comes out to what, $48 a month, something like that. Are you enticed to get one? Now, one thing that's going to be key is their trade-in program. So people like me that are going to trade in their Pixel 9 Pro XL for a new Pixel 10 Pro XL. Well, Google could say, instead of giving you, if you're going to buy a Pixel 10 Pro XL, Google may offer this trade-in $600, right? It's a decent trade-in value, but you're still going to pay $300-400 for the new model. What if Google says, if you take that same Pixel 9 Pro XL and you trade it in for the Pixel 10 Pro Fold, we'll give you a $800 trade-in, meaning if I had to pay, instead of the $600 trade-in for the Pixel 10 Pro Fold, meaning I would only have to pay the same amount to upgrade to a Pixel 10 Pro Fold that I would have to pay for a trade-in value for purchasing a Pixel 10 Pro XL. See what I'm saying? Google might do that to try to get people like myself to go ahead and bite the bullet and get a foldable. So they might actually give you a more of a trade-in value for this device or whatever device you have. So technically you're paying the same upgrade value. You're paying the same extra whether you get the 10 Pro XL or the 10 Pro Fold. See what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. I would not be surprised if they did that. I think if people that like foldables like myself, but kind of stayed away from the book style just because of how expensive they are, that would be a clever way for Google to get people like myself, people like you, that kind of do want one, but it's just too damn expensive. That would be a great way to get the foldable in the hands of more people. I'm kind of interested to see how those sensors do. Um, Definitely get the Pro XL, but I might be getting a foldable if they increase their trade-in value on other devices to make it a kind of an even deal, an even trade. So compared to upgrading to another Pixel model. But let me get out of here. I sound horrible. Appreciate the time. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I'll try to get better and maybe do another live stream here in the next day or so. And I'll be back with more tomorrow. Appreciate it, guys. Peace.